All right, so look. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of people say, "Oh, 205 Live sucks. Why don't we take them and put them on NXT? Why don't we take the 205 Live guys and we put them on the main roster? Why don't we take the 205 Live guys and do this and do that and do this and do that?" Well, I'll tell you why you don't want to take the 205 Live guys and put them in NXT or put them on SmackDown, put them on Raw. Because overcrowdedness is a problem. Because when you get the 205 Live guys, now they have a dedicated show. They have their own home. They have their own place. If you put them on NXT, NXT is only an hour-long show. You see, to begin with, that not a lot of people are getting their time on NXT. There's guys like Leo Rush who have only shown up on NXT 3 times, and all 3 times have lost. They have not made an impact. There's room in NXT for the big names. Aleister Black, Undisputed Era, people like that. There's going to be no room for these cruiserweights to try to go in there and make a name for themselves, make an impact with that cruiserweight title. Now, same issue with SmackDown. Overcrowdedness. You put them on SmackDown, the SmackDown is only 2 hours long. You need to fit in a lot. You have a ton of stories going on, and you don't have enough time to make a dedicated segment for the cruiserweight division. And even on Raw, they only get a they're lucky if they get 35 minutes in a 3-hour show. Yes, Raw is 3 hours, but the thing is, there's no room for cruiserweights. Yes, some of those useless tag matches and some of the useless Kurt Hawkins matches can be replaced with 205 Live matches, but the fact of the matter is there's not enough to replace that. The way 205 is going to keep getting better is if people watch it, and if people start to understand what they're watching. They're watching some of the best that WWE has to offer right now in the cruiserweight division. They have guys like, for God's sakes, I'm going to say this, Enzo has been a force in 205 Live that has been good. Tony Nese, who is fantastic. Jack Gallagher, whose heel work is phenomenal. Brian Kendrick, who's injured, but Cedric Alexander, who's doing fantastic right now. Cedric Alexander is doing things in 205 Live that is just fantastic and fun to see, and I understand that it's not easy to watch because it is on the WWE Network, and if you don't have the WWE Network, then you can't really watch it unless, you use a friend's account or something. And I see this. MMA Matt in chat says, "Feel so bad for the cruiserweights. WWE has f***ed them over." They didn't f*** them over. Nothing about the cruiserweights got f***ed over. It is every single fan that is sitting there saying 205 Live sucks and not watching. It's the people in the crowd that for some reason feel like they'd rather chant "this is boring" than just not chant anything at all. Because at least if you don't chant anything, wrestlers know, hey, I gotta do something to get them involved. But if you're chanting "this is boring," you're already mentally taking yourself out of it, so anything else that happens at the rest of this show does not matter to you. It's a fact. Nothing about 205 Live is going to be, terrible. It can only get better from here because it had that stretch of Not a lot of people watched it, but I promise you, with those little tiny bits of moments on Raw here and there, here and there, here and there, people saying, people seeing Cedric Alexander, Enzo Amore. I said this, I made a hot take video the day Enzo went over to 205 Live, and I said, this is going to help the division. Even though I was pissed when he became champion, I understood why he was put there, because he is a name that has established himself on the main roster, made a name for himself, the people like him, the crowd likes him, they sing along to his theme, they sing along to his chant, and he goes over to 205 Live, and he brought those people with him, and it's understandable. The 205 Live division is going to be fine. There's going to be nothing wrong with it. You don't want to send them anywhere else. You don't want to send them to NXT. You don't want to send them, scatter them across the main roster. 205 Live is their home. And what we need to do in order to help 205 Live continue to be a powerhouse is just watch it. And when you chant constructively. Say stuff like, I don't like your fucking character. Guys like Tony Nese have fantastic characters going on. You should try to watch at least a little bit of 205 Live every week. And they're fantastic talents. It wasn't a failure from the beginning. It was a test run. It was a test run that is still in the testing phase, and that's fine. They're going to be in the testing phase forever. They'll get out of it once people stop being so curmudgeon over it. Enzo helped the division so much. They're going to get guys, and I've already seen people saying, "Oh, bring Johnny Gargano over to 205 Live," and then people say, "Oh no, he'll get fucked over. He'll get so fucked over. He's only gonna get fucked over because people like you have that mindset already that he's not going to be good. You already have that mindset of whoever goes there is automatically fucked, instead of, hey, there's a new face, there's a fresh face, there's a new guy here. But instead, you'd rather be curmudgeon about it. That's why 205 Live is failing. Because everyone new that comes in, you already don't care. Because you have that mindset of, oh, it's meh. So, when you get a new guy, if Ricochet shows up there, if Johnny Gargano shows up there, if Tommaso Ciampa shows up there, if anybody shows up in 205 Live, consider that good. Consider that showing that WWE truly cares about the Cruiserweight division and they want it to be successful. That's why they're giving you these guys. Rey Mysterio could help that division. Tajiri could have helped that division, but I don't know what happened to Tajiri. There's so many ways to help this division, and it all boils down to fan acceptance. When a new guy goes to 205 Live, from the get-go, you should be excited. You should be ecstatic because that is a fresh face. That is a new story. Guys like Kalisto, when he came, I was excited because now that is another established WWE guy going there. When Gargano, if Ciampa, if anyone like that goes there, that's going to be very, very good. 205 Live doesn't need to stop, and they don't need to put these guys there, put these guys there, and put these guys over there. No, keep 205 Live, keep that division running strong, keep storylines interesting, keep characters in 205 Live, and it will be fine. That's my hot take.